I'm Paulius. I'm an information design and product design specialist. I'm independent consultant these days. Previously, I have worked in quite a number of companies in London, starting from digital publishing. I am really close to data visualization. Everything what I do is connected to data in some way. You need to find the insights from the data set that really matter to the client and to the industry as well.
Hello and welcome to this episode of Now and Next. In today's episode, I'm going to talk with Paulius. He's a product designer, data visualization designer, and a developer. He's going to explain how he ended up doing what he's doing today. He's going to show one of the projects that he has done in Zoopla, and he's going to explain me why data quality is so important today. One more time. I'm very happy to have you here in Now Next. I know Paulius from the talk that I had with Mr. Biscuit in episode 2. If you haven't watched or listened to it, feel free to watch it. It was a very interesting talk. Now, Paulius, if you want to introduce yourself very quickly, can you do it for us?
Yes, definitely. Well, hi, Kirash. I'm Paulius. I'm an information design and product design specialist. I'm independent consultant these days, but previously I have worked in quite a number of companies in London, starting from digital publishing, property company Zoopla, and global data, which handles B2B side of the business. So I am really close to data visualization. Everything what I do is connected to data in some way. Either it's infrastructure or it's visualization of it or enablement of people to analyze data and use data for their purpose, whatever it would be. So yeah, that's me. I guess we can later on talk a little bit more deeper about every single bit of my
Yes,
career.
as I said before, I really would love to hear more about what you do at the moment, like what exactly data visualization designer is doing. But before that, maybe let's get back to your story, where everything started. You were graphic designer at the beginning. How did you start at design in general?
Yes, well, it's a funny story, to be honest, and now it's really nice to reflect on that. It's all started, to be honest, in my teenager years. Then, because my mother is a fine arts teacher. And I guess I got something from her, and I was interested in design, in art, in general purpose. So I started university in London, studying classical, most standard graphic design subjects, which involved from type pressing, from silk screening, 35 mil photography, and so on. So there was very little of what we call now digital design. And I was always preaching that I will always do print and never do digital. And the moment I landed my first job after university, I switched to digital straight away. That was really a bizarre thing because I guess what you dream about in university, it's very different what you face.
What was your dream, may I ask? Like, what were you thinking about
Well,
working as a
my
graphic
dream
designer?
was print shops, workshops, silk screening, letter pressing, book binding, all these disciplines that are actually really hands-on and creative. But then you hit the industry, and then it was around 2013. The digital industry were starting to boom really a lot. So you can't escape that. And I felt in love with that. To be honest, I needed to a little bit refactor my ways of thinking, approach to the design. And yeah, here I am now.
There was a big gap between print design and digital world, or like what was the biggest challenge to switch between these two?
I think discipline itself, probably print design. It's, as I mentioned, it's a little bit hands-on, a little bit more. What you create with physically, you get straight away, or it's a little bit also slower industry. Digital, you can iterate very quickly, back and forth, copy, paste, remove, again, bring it back. Where print is more like if you bind the book with your own hands, you glue it, and you make a mistake. Well, you need to do it all over again. So it's a bit different challenges, and this is interesting that now it's industry becoming faster and faster, and now with the AI era as well coming into place, it's exciting times to be there.
I wonder if you have any imagination for the future of graphic design in general, like you study in 2012 or 11 or something like that. Back in the time, it was the era of print material, I would say, like a digital world, were booming, as you mentioned. But now should be very different. I'm not sure how's the situation, or how do you imagine the world of graphic design at the moment?
Yeah, I think so. I think it definitely changing a lot, and uh, I think we can even go deeper later on in the next stages of this show. Uh, but in a nutshell, I think us as a designer's role changing a lot as well. Like previously, we used to create things only, and then there would be different people who would be strategizing the product itself, the placement of it, the structure of the code, and everything. Now with the AI and machine learning models coming into place. Uh, we as a designers, we need to shift to be strategists ourselves, to define and explain to AI sometimes even what we want to create, how it should look. So we are not executing anymore. We almost defining and shaping the entire ecosystem.
Yeah.
From the very beginning, which is data, to the output, which might be any product.
Mhm.
And I guess AI becoming as an assistant for us to enable us and execute what we create, what we define.
Yeah, very true, very true. I would like to know a little bit more about your transition from university to industry. Like, how did you land in your very first job?
I think I could name one quality that helped me land the first job, which was global data, which was the department of digital publishing. It's basically a number of B2B magazines, digital magazines, interactive magazines, about a vast majority of different subjects, from medicine to even military, energy, leisure, tourism, and so on. And what the quality, helped me land at this job, because I didn't have any experience after the university. It's that in university I learned experiment a lot, and that's what shaped my first approach to how I look into the design. Because in university I didn't go with the easiest execution of the project. We used to have in graphic design studies, not exams or something. It used to be a number of projects that we need to interpret ourselves and push our limits. So I used to, for example, if there is a book project to make a book, I try to incorporate electronics into the book, into the spine of the book. I
Mhm.
try to incorporate the LED lights in the book, and push the boundaries of what is the book in general. And in the interview, I collected all my all my power and believing in myself, and try to present myself as a very liberal designer who is willing to push the boundaries of what is at that time digital publishing. And they got interested. The company got interested. I landed the first job, and lately I was involved in different projects and briefs that shaped these digital interactive magazines, whereas before it used to be just a slide by slide digital magazine. I try to incorporate moving image. I try to incorporate interactive visualizations to it, and so on. Back then, it was really basic HTML, CSS, and jQuery based interactions, which was already quite cool to involve with. But yes, I think that was the first time that I thought, like, okay, uh, this is very interesting field to be there, because you can, with the code and the design field, you can do whatever you want, basically.
So you got exposed to basically data visualization and like interactive data visualization right in your first job, all right? Like when you were doing this magazine.
Yes, the clients we had usually would land with a huge amount of data, which would usually very dry, sometimes even boring. You know, you need to find the insights from the data set that really matter to the client and to the industry as well. And so you need to find the creative ways how to visualize it. And even though it's not even data, maybe it's a piece of the interaction design, which communicates the message to the industry. It's very serious topics that needed to have the injection of the creativity, basically.
I understand. Now I would like to talk a little bit more about this interactive data visualization in general. This is the field that you are working right now actively, if I'm not mistaken. If you want to describe what exactly this work field is about in a few words, how would you do that?
I always like this saying that data visualization is making complex look simple and clear. Not only everyone is thinking that just simplifying is enough, but I think making the complex data understandable for normal people like us, for like everyone, that's the key goal. Like you can really easily carry away with techniques, with detailing, but forget about the actual message that carries a simple chart or infographic or any kind of visualization-led tool. So I think, yeah, data visualization is all about putting those best practices into place and making sure you focus on one data that actually matters, not just showcasing the numbers on the table and that's it.
Actually, to me, it's kind of like a work field, which is the intersection between data analyzing and graphic design, and all together. I'm not sure. I just want to ask you if you are also doing coding, like, because you mentioned that like back in the time you were using HTML and CSS and jQuery to do visualization, interactive visualization.
That's a very good question. And I was about to ask yourself, what do you think? Because you are from the very similar field, to be honest. You mentioned that you also were involved in data visualization and graphic design. So, definitely, you need to be involved. You need to push yourself to learn about code base, at least the basics, understanding the HTML, CSS, simple JavaScript, few work frames alongside. Definitely, there are a number of libraries that support that field. Data visualization, and one of the most powerful are D3.js. This is I think, the most powerful and most open headless code work frame available. There are many simplified versions of it, but I really like to go with D3 because it gives you all flexibility you want in the code. You can manipulate everything. So I think it's better to, even if you want to start the data visualization, is either you're coming from the data analytics field or you coming from the design field. And I believe, to be honest, it's better to come from the design field because you learn a lot about composition, about the graphical communication, the visual communication. I think that's very important, because if you start with the code and with numbers itself, it's very easy to go too deep into it, and you lose yourself in the dry numbers, which just, okay, it works, but it doesn't actually work to the people. I'm not sure if you are facing the same challenges working with the developers and the designers in between. Usually developers say like, oh, I did it, it's working, but it looks different, and developers said always it's working, it's the same, but it's not. So it's like fine-tuning these details, and I think in the design field you learn this. You learn to go to the details which actually matter, and so having this balance in between, I think this is a crucial part. I think you could get away like 10 years ago only with the design field, because we didn't have such a big community of the data visualization in code. But now I think it's absolute must. You need to be in between of design and code, and
to be honest, I feel like because of the advancement now we have in technology, especially AI, designers are now more capable to do coding as well. So it's not just they say, hey, we are a designer, and then we stand back. They can also implement the things that they have in mind. And I guess in your field, it's very important that you can transfer those like interpretation in a visual thing that everyone can really understand and get that point, which is a very, very important field, I have to say, because now we are all just talking about the datas and, as you mentioned, the numbers. And it's kind of art that you can transfer the message behind them.
I would love to also add, I think this is a great point you made. Also, as a data visualization designer, it's important to understand that there's under indirect huge responsibility of communicating data, because data is a very powerful thing, and the same data set can be shaped to different direction very easily.
True.
You can manipulate the one side whilst ignoring another side, which maybe is more important.
Happens a lot in politics, I would say.
Yes, exactly. This is where I'm coming to, and it's very important to be very honest about and very clear what you visualizing, because sometimes you can harm someone by doing not responsible thing with the data visualization.
Yeah, great point. Great point. If you want to mention one highlight of your career, like, I don't know, fun thing that you learn in the professional industry, or anything that you feel like boosts your career, what would that be?
I think there are few moments where I also am very grateful to the people or to the situation that happened to me. So one was at Zoopla, which was my line manager, and shout out to him, Harry. if you listen. But he was always there to push because I was still at the junior midweight level, and I was pushing myself to seniority. Uh, and I was a very shy person, and he was really pushing me personally to uh, change the approach of how I uh, take the opportunities in my life, and to help myself to be a bit more confident in what I do, and not to undermine what I do every day. So he was the quite crucial part where I am now. And then in the next phase, in the next place I was working, I worked with Marco Kren, who is working with the token resolvers, and where I actually learned node programming, and that was changed my perspective about how this automation and digital systemization works. How we automate everything in digital world, and that where my AI and machine learning learnings came in, and I built the confidence that okay, this is actually makes sense, and it's very uh, tight relationship to the data I'm working with, and so on. And then the next one is the Mr. Biscuit. To be honest, it's he is a person which I am really grateful as well, because he's first of all a really good human being, and then amazing professional in his field, and always willing to share and the knowledge, and support myself and everyone else around it. So it's a good vibes around him as well.
How do
Uh,
you know Mr. Biscuit? I wonder.
we used to work in the same under the same project, and then our paths a little bit went to different directions, but we are still very close. We keep in touch all the time because we currently working on the similar things. I'm more like on the data visualization field. He's more on design systems.
Mhm.
But it's a very similar approach what we are now trying to achieve.
Understood. Understood. Just I need to also mention one more time that he's an amazing guy.
Yeah.
I had only one chat with him, but it was very nice. You can get that vibe immediately from him, and he was also in Config 2020, if I'm not mistaken, or 2021.
Yeah.
I don't know if you have ever done any, if you have ever had any stage in Config or
Uh,
events.
no, I recently attended the Panpot Fest, which, if you know, it's yeah, so it's one of the alternatives to Figma. And yeah, I've been there, but I wasn't on the stage. I was part of the workshops and everything, but not on the main stage. But met also.
I just wonder if you're using Penpad or.
I'm using just not on a daily basis, but always keep an eye on it. I think it's currently developing itself.
Mhm.
It's on the really good path. So I'm really excited what they are doing. So yeah.
Yeah, back in the time, I remember the first time that I used Penpad, I was like, this is exactly Figma. And I had this question, why should I use Figma anymore? But then suddenly Figma introduced a lot of feature that I couldn't find it in Penpad. But I know that they're working also, and it's open source, if I'm not mistaken. That's a really
Yes, it is. I
big
think
difference.
that's the biggest unique selling point from them. Otherwise, it's the functionality is quite. You can say the resembles from Figma. Well, you cannot create something else because it's pretty much what it is. But the approach, how they approach to the design creation and enablement of users, it's liberal and open source, which is totally different what Figma does. Uh, yeah.
When you were telling how you come to what you're doing today, one question shaped in my mind, and it was about the technical skills that you learned because you were a graphic designer, you studied pure graphic design, and now I know that based on what you said, that you are doing also, you are involved in development as well. You are doing some codings. How did you learn the technical skills?
Through doing it. It's literally practice, practice, practice. I haven't attended any official course on development. That's the fact. But the workplaces where I worked always, if you want to achieve great things in the workplaces I was, you need to showcase the skill of the coding. So that pushed my. It is a little bit was okay. I will be learning at night and delivering tomorrow kind of approach. So I used to go to started from Stackflow tutorials, going there, reading the community solutions, how to do this algorithms, how to do that, how to handle this situation in code, how to do that in jQuery, how to do that in vanilla JavaScript, in HTML only, and so on. So trying different things, really tinkering about, but always having the right, the concrete purpose and concrete goal, what you want to achieve. So I wasn't just trying coding for the sake of it. I always defined, okay, I need to achieve this. For example, create the interactive map which shows property prices across UK. So I have data, I have the design or sketch what I want to do and how to bring it to life. So okay, then I go to the internet, try to tinker with different things, different sources. Okay, what technique is better for that? What technique is more performant, and so on. And trying to learn always on the go. That's the thing. There's no easy way to do that, especially 7 years ago. It's just there was no vibe coding yet. You needed to really grind the code to learn it. And to be honest, it worked. I really started to fall in love with it, um, because and because whereas before I used to do static design and static design output, and the moment then you understand that you can bring it to life via code or via animation, you cannot go back anymore. You just really want to design something and bring it to life or enhance its features or enhance its functionality or impact of it. So yeah, I guess this transition was the gradual, but once it hit me, I really cannot go back and say, oh, I'm only a graphic designer or product designer, only working on the static output. If I create something, I want to have it live, basically.
You mentioned a very, very, very important and interesting point. Based on my experience, I have worked with many designers that they always say, I'm only a designer. I don't care what's happening in the technical part, which I find it a little bit odd because as a designer, one of the things that you need to do is to reduce the gap between the product and the users. This is one of the unwritten purpose, I believe, for the designer. And if you don't know what's happening in the technical part, it's kind of like you're building a black box for yourself that you have no impact on it. And nowadays, especially based on the AI vibe coding and every tool that the designers have in hands, there's no excuse for that anymore. But still, you can see some designers that they're just saying, I'm a designer, I don't code, or I don't know that, I don't know this. And having this curiosity that, hey, if I don't know something, doesn't mean that I should not go and learn it, I want to do something, I need to learn the things that I need for that and go further. And I believe it's a very, very important skill to be to be kind of interested in things that you don't know and try to learn them and be open to new stuff, which many people forget how important it is.
Yeah, I truly believe that, honestly, and I think even some people currently now think that with the vibe coding in place, you don't even need to even you only need to understand. You don't even need to understand the code in general now because you just prompt it, you get it. But I think this is polar opposite what I believe. You now you need to understand them really well how it works in order to instruct AI models how to execute things consistently and with quality. Otherwise, it's well, it's just hallucinations. If you understand how AI and machine learning models works, it's if you don't get clear, if you don't provide clear rules and clear source of truth for AI to execute, it's just hallucination, and it can go either way.
I totally agree with you. We will talk about this in detail next part, but just to say that I agree with you, I do vibe coding myself without having enough knowledge, like technically about specific libraries that the AI is using or a specific part of a code. But I know that that is very important before you ask the AI to get the result. At least ask the AI about that technology that it's using to get familiar with the possibilities, to know how it's working. So even if you do vibe coding, is, as you mentioned, it's very good to first understand the technical aspect, the technical information and knowledge a little bit, that you, again, don't build a black box for yourself. I would like to maybe end this part with this question, that how do you see the working market at the moment? You work in London, maybe how is the working market there, or in general in the world for a designer, and specifically in your working field?
It's it is on the same hand, it's very easy to answer, but also very hard to answer as well because as we inevitable, it's AI is there, everyone is embracing it, and it's very hard to as a professional, very hard to uh, enter the industry now or change the jobs because the expectations from the companies or stakeholders are very unclear because no one knows exactly what's the real potential of AI, what is just a trend or how to utilize it. So now even new job titles is being created, which are also unclear what they do. Or you enter for the product design job, but you get description from uh, product engineering or something else. You are expected to fully understand backend coding and so on. So that this flux going on, it's very complicating people of entering the industry currently. It's very challenging, but if I think it is a matter to keep calm and to filter what you actually need, what you actually want to do, because the jobs are here, the industry is still there. It's just it's in a transition. I think it's a similar transition what was from print to digital. It's from digital to AI enablement, and that will shape a lot in the future and possibly quite soon, where more people will be able to create more than they could 10 years ago. But I think uh, if you maintain that quality to yourself, the data quality, the clear structure, the clear skill set, combined with AI, you always have the upper hand to the people who just trying to vibe code it. So I think it's just need to be there, stay put, and do whatever you do and
Yeah,
try the best.
true. I always say that the market is still good. Like you can find a lot of, let's say, opportunities, but they are not so exciting. Like you don't find a job description that you read and say, "Oh, this is really thing that I would like to work on it," or something like that? Not that there is no, but they get less for some reason. As maybe, as you mentioned, market is in transition as well. But yeah, if you want to recommend the junior designers, would you recommend them to do what you are doing? Would you recommend them to become a data visualization designer? What is the most
Uh,
fun part of this work, actually?
it, the most fun part of it is actually that it combines everything. And recently, I learned it. To be honest, I always thought like, okay, data visualization is on its own as a niche industry. But to be honest, in the current projects I worked, it's literally everything combined. Regardless, you're working on the data visualization output. It's product design, it's graphic design, it's information design as a whole, and you need to understand all these fields a little bit at least, or to the expert level to achieve the highest quality. So I think. If you, for the person who is junior, I would always ask if you love data, if you understand, if your mindset is that you understand that everything starts from data, and you love analyzing it and bring it to life to help people understand complex things easier, and which is quite a rewarding thing. uh, I definitely would encourage to try, because now it's more than relevant with the AI and the data importance and data quality importance. I think it's important to maintain that, and we can talk later on how quality of data is impacting the AI and the world around us. I think that's very interesting topic as well.
Great. In the next part, we will talk about the projects that you have done, the things that you are doing at the moment, which is going to also give a better perspective to everyone who's listening and watching to us. So let's have a very short break and we will be right back. Yeah, it was very great to know more about you in personal level and what you have done in your career so far. And you mentioned that you would like to show also us a little bit about what you have done in Zoopla, especially because it's showing how was the situation before the era of AI. I mean, the things that we see these days. So maybe let's have a deep dive in that.
Yes, so I think I was thinking what should I show in the session, and there are many different things, and I think Zoopla, the company, which is the property company in London, is the good example where I actually started to excel as an information design specialist, and it was my first official job under the information designer title. And here I had a really great opportunity to learn a lot from different fields, from marketing, how the data visualization plays in marketing, how it plays in data analytics, how it plays internally, what is the role of it globally in reporting, and so on. So I had the opportunity to lead and own the development of all of these things, especially during the Zoopla's rebrand phase. So I had opportunity to define what data means to Zoopla, what it means for the users of Zoopla platforms, of the property platforms they have, what basically it means for the B2B and B2C side, and so on.
So it's basically a full design process, huh? Kind of you start
Yes,
from,
it
yeah.
is. It is actually, yeah, and it was a collection of defining the templates, the system, the guidelines, but also delivering the custom output as well on the side. So it was a busy time, and that was a time where AI wasn't there, vibe coding wasn't there. I think that's important to note. Everything needed to be written by your hand, and at that time I learned a lot about everything, and I am grateful to that opportunity, because now I can also then I vibe code it. I can understand much better the details, the nitty gritty of what AI is creating to me, and what is the structure of the code, and how does it work in different frameworks and so on. But this particular example, this is just a little part of what I did. And this is about enablement of the property analytics at Zoopla. So we used to have, and still have, monthly and bi-monthly reports coming to people, to businesses and to ordinary people like us, showcasing basically the status of property industry, of property market, house price, demand, sales, supply, how it recovers, the status of it, and so on. And it's regular thing. And so I needed to create the system that is in line with the new Zoopla brand, which was also really designed in detail, but also the output of the charts, the collection of these charts are professional, are clear to understand, are not over cluttered, and they are always there to update, to take it and use it consistently. So it's not easy to break, whereas it's very common in the data visualization industry, especially in the big companies, where you get the data. It can be hundreds of rows, and you don't think, you're on the rush, you want to visualize something, and you visualize it all at once, and you get a very messy, very hard to understand chart. So what I created is the selection of the Excel templates, and the Excel I chose just because I wanted to be as native and as close to the users of in this case, property analytics as possible. I didn't want to create a different tool which wouldn't be familiar to them, because it would be such a big toll to them as well, to learn as well, readjust. So I thought I will go native. I will use macro-enabled developer language in Excel, which allows me to create different macro functions that enables me to have a little bit more custom charts without limitations of the Excel itself. So first of all, I created a range of helper guidelines. This is just for reference for any analytics. If they are really lost, they can come here and see what the good chart looks like. So, for example, you try to avoid spaghetti charts, coloring every single line. You should be able to understand it from the very first glance, what is focused on, and so on. You have different brand elements like logo. This little line here was the really distinct element of the brand that time. Also, the is very consistent and clear hierarchy of the type, chart title, supporting text around it, and the body. It's very important to keep it always consistent and so on. So all these are defined here. It's all static, but it's what it worked back then to property analytics, because they don't need any fancy tools or what we used to now, with AI. they need something that works. And this, I found that it really worked. Everyone was really happy about it.
Just,
And still,
Paulius, I have one question regarding what you're showing at the moment. In which stage of design you create such a thing? Because to me, it's kind of you have a user interface, like a high fidelity user interface here with all the details and kind of like a smaller scale design system that you say, hey, this should be the principle of stylings of all the elements within this visualization. I also see that you consider the responsiveness up there. For example, you say this should be the 100% zoom, the ratio of the screen and everything else. When exactly you should create such a guideline?
I mean, these guidelines, what you see here, are very specifically native to Excel. So that was also my idea to be very close to property analytics everyday usage. The 100% zoom means basically what you see here at the corner, because you can very easily break the cells and the visual appearance if you start jittering about the viewport. This is the limitations and the subtleties of the Excel. So I needed to make sure it's always fixed, and I will show you later on in action how does it work. This is just as a reference, just to reminder. And I chose here 16:9 ratio because that basically worked everywhere. So these charts used to and still are used in web pages, in the PDF reports, in print, and also in social media. So these very the usage of those and use cases are serving a lot. So that's why it was very successful. Basically, you need to find the right format for you. It's not always going to be universal and ideal. Obviously, for the social media, maybe you would like to have one by one. And yes, it's possible. It's responsive. I will show you in a minute. But 16:9 at that time worked like a charm to every single use case in Zoopla. So in addition to that, I also needed to expand the color palette of Zoopla brand, because Zoopla used to have this purple and then accompanying colors, and I needed to come up with more than that, because data visualization demands certain palettes that has certain functions. This, what you can see here, is absolute bare minimum what in data visualization today you would need. So you would I incorporated 21 shade of purple, which is the purple of the brand color, which is here, Zoopla purple, and that has the shades that serves as a sequential color palette or monochromatic color palette, depending on the steps you get. So this is more like also a reference and giving you the actual value if you want to have something more custom. Also, you would get some contrasting colors if needed, but these are a little bit less in use. It's more like semantic colors, and then diverging palette as well, which used for showing the extremes from minimum to maximum data points, and followed with the neutral colors, which serves text, grid lines, no data references or different elements that are not always needed to be present in the full scope on the chart.
Very interesting. One question.
Similar, yes, go for it.
Oh, sorry. I just want to know if you consider accessibility in this project or not.
Yes, I did, but this is a very interesting topic always with the accessibility in data visualization. Whereas in product design, we usually go with the highest accessibility ratings and thresholds. Whereas in data visualization, sometimes it's a bit more liberal. It's yes, for the simple ones, it's of course highest threshold as well. For example, if you have single or double chart, I think this one here as well, it's obviously you would have accessible all the time, 100%. But if you have something more complex, like donut chart or multi, like 6 different data points, 6 different colors, which is not really recommended, but sometimes you just need that. Y- you can lower that threshold of the accessibility, obviously not to zero, but you can allow some leverage around to make sure it's still readable, but it's not always going to be ideal.
It's a very good point because one of my challenge when it comes to creating, I don't know, charts in the user interface is colors.
Yes.
Always our accessibility team says that relying only on colors is not enough. So you need to back it up with more visual indicators.
Exactly. Especially then it comes to the a different difficulty of seeing, color blindness types and so on. It's very important
True.
to take in consideration that how the same color looks on for the people who have it. And this is the topic what I'm involved currently, and sadly I cannot share a lot on that topic now. Maybe later on, yes, but I can talk about it. So yes, so these are the elements here. This is more also reference to the code I created in between. But here I actually have these live charts, which have I structured in a very clear manner. So it's also very understandable. So maybe not for the designer eye, but it's very practical and very understandable for the data analytical eye. So you would have the data here, in whatever format. It can be anywhere. This is the data analytics. They can do whatever they want, and you have the visual output. This is what I created. And you have here macro-enabled fields, which helps without even touching the chart in Excel manipulate it. So, for example, if I want to create, update the headline, I could go here. I need to select, and I can write it updated headline or whatever, and it's sorry. Yes, so yeah, that's it. I think my internet down. So yeah, so as you can see, it updates instantly. So I can change here. For example, I can make it shorter, and that's change it here. I can you know source of now and next. It changed here, source of now, next, and so on. So these are also here, like it's all starting from the making it consistent as a design output. So if, for example, I do something, I break it. Even then, like it's kind of all right, but I can set it to 16 by 90 straight away. So that kind of makes you, if you break something, you don't need to panic. Oh my God, I need to redo something, which usually is the case with the Excel, because it's very sensitive and quite old fashioned software. So you can I incorporate very simple functionality that enables to keep it consistent. And for example, if you want to uh, remove the brand elements, you can make it headless. But if you want to bring it back, you can just like add those here as well. So it's all ready to um, you know uh, export as a picture and use wherever.
But by the way, just before you go further, this table that you have here, you are involved in making the structure of that table as well, or you get the table and you need to visualize it? What is the role exactly there?
Yes, so the collaboration between it was the very close collaboration between the Zoopla's property research teams and the analytics they work there. So I need to identify what what kind of data is actually matters to visualize. So it's a little bit also from information design point of view. It's not only visualization, but it's also the best practice and best solution to visualize that data. So analytics used to have huge data points, and I helped also them to identify which data points is more
Relevant to users, basically.
relevant to users. Yeah. So because here you can see, demand declines over than sales as supply recovers. Okay, this is B2B level kind of thing, but you can break every single this data point to even more detail, which would explode the complexity. So we identify what actually matters, and therefore we created the set of reusable charts that are always there and always there to update. So that's why it was very easy then to every single month to feed in the new data, and you would get the report up and running. So that was the most impactful thing to the consistency of the brand expression, brand output, style of it, the consistency of the format, and the ability to easily update the data without redoing everything, reapplying the colors, and so on. Because these are Excel macro-enabled template files. It's not ordinary Excel file. So it carries on the data, the colors with the file it's in it. So that's the true power of the native solution. And this, I always think like simple things are sometimes more impactful than you trying to create something really impressive. These are
That's
very
a design trap, I guess everyone is suffering.
Yeah, so I guess so this solution, what I have it here, it's maybe not something that is most most sexiest visually, but it is definitely one of the most impactful things that Zoopla have it now, and it just literally enables all the property insights at Zoopla.
Paulius, I'm curious to also understand. You have users that they have some needs. They want to understand specific points from the data that exists, and I wonder how you transfer those needs to a chart. Like how you decide. I mean, here we are talking about the Excel. Maybe users have access to different type of chart. They can decide what to see. But if we talk about the dashboard that has been predefined, how you transfer the user's need to chart, a specific chart. Like it's very interesting to me to understand, like, because in the design, we always try to map the features that we are going to develop to the needs that the user has or their expectation or wish sometime. Here, somehow I feel like our hands are very limited. We cannot invent charts, or we can, but maybe it's more difficult than designing a user interface element such as button or putting something like that. How's the process there? Like how you come from the user's needs to deciding which chart is important for them?
Yeah, so there is one widespread saying that if only change chart type if you cannot visualize it with the bar chart. So always start from the bar chart, and if you cannot visualize the data effectively, then start considering different charters. But that's a little bit more like a humoristic saying. But to be honest, the actual the decision making of which chart to use for that which data, I think, dictates few things, a few elements. So it's the data type itself, the amount of data, and the purpose, what you want to do with the data. So, for example, I think the purpose is most crucial part, because then it's categorizing the data types very quickly. For example, if you want to compare data, or if you want to show the trend of it, for example, if you want to show the trend, you would probably want to visualize, maybe if I have it here, maybe I do have something. Sure. No, I don't have it here. Like, it's in a different file, but it would be a line chart, or a histogram or something else. But if you want to compare it, you would consider, for example, the bar style chart, which would be, either a stack chart like this one. You would easily compare three different data subjects, and you would see the relationship in between of that. So you need to put your analytical hat as well, understanding the business, understanding the consumer or user, and all the subtleties of it. What is important to understand. So that's where the beauty of the data visualization. It's not only making it beautiful, but you need to think about the function and the impact it gets. So you need to also dig into the industry you work in. For example, in this case, property. What you need to start questioning: what's the most important thing for the everyday user to, if he or she opens the phone and opens the Zoopla page, gets the report, and what's the first thing they need to see? It's not probably the most complex chart ever. It's more like whether the market price is going up or down, and also, not only that, what does it mean to the user? For example, if the prices are going up, for some people, it would be the good news. But for some people who are looking to buy, it's not good news, because the prices are going up. But if some people are trying to sell, they would probably clap their hands and, okay, that's good investment. So you need to think, what is the audience as well, like what they're looking for, what is the most important thing. Like, if you open the app, I see the prices go up, and if that's the seller market, yes, then you would say, like, okay, this is the right time to invest or to sell your property. And that's the key message. It's not to be honest, it's not the data visualization itself. It's the message that carries
True,
across.
yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. Sorry, I interrupted you. I guess you were
No,
showing.
that's fine.
Yeah, but it was a very good question, because, as you mentioned, it's not just the chart itself that you try to present to user, but the message behind it, and how the users are interpreting that, and based on that, they're going to take some actions. So this whole chain should be designed by you, basically, huh? Like what to show, how to show, and what action
Yeah.
would you expect to get from the
And I
users
think
after?
I think I can show you as well a few interactive things I created, and that would support as well different types of the data visualizations itself. I mean, not the chart types, but the purpose itself. For example, these charts are more like carrying one strong message. For example, majority of the mortgages, homes, buyers, and highest income bands. So it's very B2B style. You need to understand the thing. But sometimes data visualizations can be less focused. It can be exploratory. So I can maybe try showing you. Yes.
Mhm.
So, for example, this little snippet of the interactive visualization, interactive map, more not like in visualization only, I created for Zoopla is that it is just showing how the value of the home changed since the pandemic. So you can literally, it doesn't say like specific things, but you can see the heat map style
Mhm.
UK map, which is with the interactive slider, and you can select your bracket. See like, okay, I want to see the homes that increased from from 35,000 K to 41, for example. And I can see, I ignore the rest of the map. I can see only the local authorities that in their homes increased by this amount in this bracket. So I can click on it and see how does it change. So I see that on February 20 was the average price of property this, and April was much bigger. And looking at the whole, you can see that from pandemic, house prices were rising, not falling. So there are very little amount of the of local authorities that house prices went down, and it's center of London, which is out, to be honest, more like an outlier of the data, not as as the actual value, because we are talking about Kensington and Chelsea, one of the most expensive areas. So we are more interested in the entire UK, so you can see how much it's actually risen. So you can already get the gist that okay, property market is rising, even though there we had a quite bad, quite difficult time that years. So yeah, so I think this is more like in uh, falling into the exploratory data visualization, which also is relevant to the people.
It's very interesting. Yeah, I
Uh,
mean, most of the time, because I was thinking like we usually try to like in generic user interface design, if we're not talking about user interfaces that users are going to use in order to get informed about data or whatsoever, we try to hide the data and try to give them the result, give the user basically what they are looking for, and specifically based on the conversational AI user interfaces that we have. I guess we don't provide them such an interactive user interface anymore. User is going to ask the question and then got the result. But I feel like having this kind of visualizations are very, very helpful in the user interface. And I'm finding it very interesting.
yeah, and I think what this is a very good point you made, and I would like to add also one little detail and little I would say skill that not all the data visualization designers or developers have, and I think it's more than crucial to have. It's about more like a silent skill that you need to because you have the responsibility to build trust with people showing data, and especially then consistently. And the methodology and the source of data is also very important. So, for example, it's crucial to incorporate that, how old is the data, what is the source of it, and the supporting methodology, how it was collected, and what tools it was collected. So, if I would be just showing the map, I could literally uh, create a map showing some sort of data which could be fake. It literally could
True,
be
yeah.
anything. And that's what is, it's very important, governing the and taking the accountability of what quality and what scope of data, and what is the how is it the latest data, or is it the more reflection of it. For example, now this uh, this little interactive map is more like a reference, not so relevant, because I can see that the source of the data is already 2022. So it doesn't reflect the current property prices.
True. Yeah, when it comes to data, I guess reliability and credibility is very important.
Yes,
Where is
yes.
it coming from? How it has been collected? Especially the date is very important. Yeah, it's a very, very valid point you are mentioning.
So I think that's it from the me showing something from the Zoopla side, what I was prepared.
Yeah, I mean, great. Thank you for sharing. I guess it gives also a good uh, understanding to designers who might later switch to this field, or if they are interested to work in this field, or in general. Actually, I feel like there is no clear border between other type of a design and visual design. They all can be a part of same product. You might need this everywhere. So it was very, very nice to see. Thank you, Paulius. I guess we can have a very quick and short break, and we will be right back. You told me that now we can maybe talk about the things that you are doing at the moment, which is a little bit closer to design system fields, or is a combination of it, or you are working closely with the design system team. What are you doing now?
Yes, so currently I'm very close to the design system designers. I'm very close to working with Figma environment, enabling other designers creating scalable data visualizations and charts. That's I think the most important message I want to say, but it's more like what I'm involved currently is what I learned previously, from the other companies, is I'm now putting it to practice. So with the AI and with the scalability, it's important to create the systematic automation of the design. It's not only creating custom templates; it's about creating the templates that can scale, and they are modular, and they can take different styles, different brands. So we are talking about the multi-brand systems and so on. So that's where I am now at. I will be able to talk about it in the broader terms. But Mr. Biscuit also is involved in the very similar field, and I had a pleasure with him as well, working together back to back. So we still share our knowledge time to time. So I guess that sums it up what I do now. Like product designers would create a component library in Figma. I'm also creating data visualization chart library in Figma. But also, not only that, I trying to bridge the gap between the design and code. So using the combination of the markdown files, combination of the Mr. Biscuit's visual variable visualizer. If I'm not sure if he talked about it a little bit, and also MCP server capabilities. I'm trying to bring those components to life as well. So literally doing what I said before, trying to bring my static designs to life, just now in the very scalable and open way.
And you mentioned that the AI is also playing some role there. Maybe it's a good time that we talk a little bit about the future of the field that we are working, or in your opinion, how do you see the future?
Yeah, so I think AI will stay with us inevitably, probably in some form. It is evolving, and it's in the flux now. What will be actual purpose and actual functionality of AI we will see, but I think it will be definitely agentic AI functionality in place quite heavily. And I think that shapes us as a designers in any field, how we work. So as I mentioned earlier, it's we are not only designing now the static outputs, which are more or less custom designs, components, whatever you call it. We are more designing the our design becomes data basically. Our components, what we create, whether it's chart, whether it's button component, it becomes one single source of truth for AI model to consume. And that's why the responsibility and accountability what we create raises vastly, because we need to make sure that everything is systemized, everything is machine readable, everything is clean. There's less room to risk to design, messy designs with the multiple frames which are not needed. We need to make sure that our designs are very stable, very scalable, and following the best principles of variables, tokens, and so on.
Mhm.
Otherwise,
Paulius, yeah, I just want to also ask, and I'm curious actually, that if you felt like this generative AIs, or in a wider perspective in general, AI, changed the way that you are designing and the things that you are designing at the moment or not. Like, for example, in the user interface design, I know that there are some terms, as you mentioned, that are getting born, the new terms like, I don't know, agentic experience design or conversational experience design. So these are the things that are going to change in the future, at least in the user interface. But when we talk about visualization, data visualization design, is there something that changed and you feel like AI made it?
mm, good question. I think in a way it didn't change a lot, but it more enabled to move faster. As I mentioned, it gave more responsibility to myself to make sure that my design quality is even better than it was, and it gave opportunities to move faster and iterate faster as well. Whereas before, it used to be really time consuming to create a data led interactive dashboard from scratch. Now you can sketch it out fairly quickly and take it from there. So I think it's important to understand the capabilities and the benefits of it. Don't rely blindly on it, on the AI, but try to utilize it to your benefit whilst still understanding the field you are in.
Mm.
So I definitely wouldn't recommend diving in for someone who is not familiar with the field and just saying, okay, I will create now a bunch of dashboards and sell it. I think that's very risky. But if you are in the field, using AI can definitely increase your potential a lot.
Also, do you think that the user's behavior has been changed regarding the data visualization consumers, like the way that they want to see the data? It's like people prefer now to do every task in a conversation way. Do you think that's also the future for the data visualization? Like, instead of interacting with charts, people might skip that part and just directly ask the results and the output they are looking for?
Yeah, I think definitely there is a tendency that people are expecting that now, and it's a little bit a transition. I would say it's a gamification effect. It's very exciting to open your Fitbit and it gives you out of the box all these insights and things like that. I think that's definitely something there, and I support that as well. But it also uncovers even enhances the bigger relevance of clear communication with data, because like you mentioned, just visualizing effective data visualization with lots of fancy micro animations full of interactions might not be the best solution. Whereas, nowadays you can in LinkedIn see a bunch of examples out of the box of the 3D visualizations, VR, AR experiences. They all look so amazing, and it's really amazing to see them.
Oh, that's
But
true. By the way, I mean, have you ever done any project that was related to augmented reality, like data visualization in augmented reality?
just in the prototype level, not yet something that landed on the user's
Final products.
final product. But yes, so maybe later on we can stay in touch and we
I
can
mean,
share.
I assume it's a very nice combination, AI, augmented reality for the
Yes,
field that you're working in.
yeah,
Sorry,
it
I
is.
again interrupted you. I hope you didn't forget what you were saying.
No, that's all right.
Okay.
But yeah, it's definitely what I mentioned, that it's the relevance of being accurate with what you want to say with data, and simple is always the best solution. It's still there, and it's even more important than ever. Uh, and even before AI, there is a golden rule, like do not add any interactive elements to the chart or to the visualization unless it has a pure function of it. It enhances it. So do not hide the data just to make it hover on, hover on to reveal the data. Why not to show it straight away? So don't make extra steps. So this is the same rule applies to AI. So don't make it over complex. We shouldn't be reinventing the wheel just to make it more fancy. It should serve the purpose and serve the people. But on the other hand, AI gives such a huge potential of creating those AR, augmented reality solutions that like 7-10 years ago it used to be very challenging, just coded by hand, because it is a complex algorithms involved and complex solutions from the code side, and sometimes it used to be just too expensive to do. Why? But now AI can help to do it very quickly and see whether it's worth it or not. And if it's worth it, you have it amazing product. So I guess it's a combination. I guess the balance of it.
Exactly. I would like to also know a little bit in your personal life. Do you use AI so often, or it's not in
Mhm.
your life yet?
Well, a part of that I more and more often use AI to code, to help me to code the simple tasks and fast. That's definitely, I'm using it almost every day. But I think also I'm not even aware, but I'm using AI through Google on the different things to share to search. But apart that, to be honest, I'm not finding relevant, even in in fitness apps. For me, just simple charts of tracking my data on every day, on exercise by exercise, it's enough, and I don't see the need yet to be involved with the AI insights. But maybe it's a bit counterintuitive if you think than
Mm.
the field where I'm coming from. But maybe I'm older than I'm thinking. Just I need to embrace it a little bit. But yeah, definitely, it's more like a search and my work.
I understand. The same for me. Like, as I said, sometimes I feel like some like traditional ways of interaction or interacting with,
Yeah.
interacting with the computer is much easier than having a conversation.
Do you usually use AI for any improvement of the productivity, everyday life, creating schedules for you or things like that? Because now it's very trendy of
Yeah, it
using.
is. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Unfortunately, I've said no, not
Yeah.
really, in a higher scale and in a practical way. AI helps me now for like I'm creating content, and AI is helping a lot there. Like I use the image generative AI to generate, I don't know, a lot of visual elements and materials there. I use the text generative AI to generate content. I don't know, refine the text and everything. But what I feel like I'm a little bit behind is creating pipelines of this AIs to create a real agentic system. So not really. Like I'm looking around. I myself am very overwhelmed in general because I open the news every day and I see a lot of new tools. Everyone is talking about something. Oh, AI changed this. I'm doing this with AI, and I don't know how to catch up myself. Let me
Yeah.
ask you.
Tell me about it.
Yeah, how do you do in this perspective? Like, how do you prepare yourself for the future?
Oh, I ignore LinkedIn. I'm trying to
Good
not to
advice.
look at it. It's literally hard to, it's very important to filter out the LinkedIn posts that are just fancy, not scalable solutions. You can create really cool stuff, one-off stuff with AI, and it would look like really impressive, but that's about it. It will stay in LinkedIn post and it will never scale. And it won't be usable. So that's important to understand. Like it's not to catch yourself of chasing those sparkle posts around. And it's important to filter which ones are the actual solutions that worth taking attention to it. So
Yeah.
that's first. And yes, it's very challenging. I must agree with you as well. Like I second you about that. I'm getting stressed sometimes and overwhelmed about seeing everyone going faster and faster. Like everything around us developing quicker and quicker, and it brings its own challenges and advantages as well. So it's just important to keep calm because everyone, I think, is in the same boat. It's just the social media effect is what it does to you. It's you. Then we used to see other people, having a really nice time in the beaches and then mountains.
Yeah,
Now
true.
we see people having fun with AI, and it stresses us out. But it shouldn't be, because you can do that as well. Uh, and I what I learned so far in the industry, that even though you're not using AI, even though you're just creating PowerPoint templates, there always be someone who needs PowerPoint templates. So you always uh, will get some attention, will help someone, even though you are not on the top of the trends. So it's
Saying
important.
that human AI is not gonna replace us. Huh? You're
Uh,
giving a hope.
yes, definitely. Yeah, definitely. It's not going to replace us. Don't worry.
I feel better actually.
uh,
Yeah, I mean, in the talk that I had with Mr. Biscuit, also, we talk about this competition between these huge corporations that are working in this industry and the impact that they have on the way that we get pushed toward different technology. Like if you see 3 years ago, no one really talked about AI in this way that we are talking today. AI were there. So many machine learning algorithms were there already.
Yeah.
But now this generative AI kind of brought us to a new era, and they have their own competition up there, and they're influencing our life as well. But as you mentioned, there are a lot of noises in the market at the moment. How do you see yourself in next 10 years? It's a very random big question. I don't know, because if you ask me the same, I would say I don't know. Hopefully living.
Can I
Still living.
take your answer? Can I take your answer?
But yeah, do you have any vision for yourself?
I, to be honest, I tend to shorten my vision these days. Whereas like 10 years ago, I would say like, okay, in 10 years, more or less imagine myself here. But now it's very hard to predict 10 years. I think it's more max 5 years you can predict or place yourself in a kind of a vision format, but it still might change. I don't know. I think I'm investing a lot of my time of learning how AI works. And I also investing my time understanding the machine learning itself, because machine learning methodologies it's actually a parent of the AI agents. So I think it's important to be on top of this. And if the technology of AI is emerging so fastly in everyday lives, you need to understand what you're dealing with. And I think that will hopefully will give in 10 years for me upper hand of uh, shaping myself around it as well. Otherwise, it might be difficult, to
Tricky.
maneuver of that. It sounds a bit scary now, like, oh my God.
Yeah, true. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
again, it reminds me of what Mr. Biska said. I don't want to bring his name so much, but yeah.
That's all right.
He said that in past industrial revolution that we had, the human had, the target was the way that we are working. But in this one, like what's happening at the moment, the target is the workforce itself. Like if we are going to work or not in the future, and like at least they are shaping it this way. And it sounds a little bit scary. You are totally right. Do you have any resource that you want to share with audience who is watching or listening to us? Like if you want to study machine learning, or if you want to keep yourself up to date about AI, is there something in mind that?
Yes, I did have actually in mind. I would love to give a shout out to MIT Press, which has a series of books that is actually written in a way like to be mini courses of each subject. For example, I'm reading about deep learning. And it's part of these books looks very similar to each other, just different subject and different illustration and different content, obviously. But it is it's a practical and theoretical combination of the actually what it is. It involves formulas, it involves the algorithms, it involves practical explanation and tasks, how it's made and how it's working, not only theoretical information. So if you cannot, for example, study in MIT, I think these books are closest thing you can get, and you can get all the subjects from machine learning, AI ethics, which is another big topic, VR, and so on. So many different things. I think that's what I would recommend.
Thank you very much. That was a very, very, let's say, helpful advice. I also wrote here MIT Press. I will search later and see what they have for me. Thank you, Paulius. That was actually, looking at the time, that was our talk for this episode. Is there something that I missed and you want to talk about it?
Mm, yeah, I wanted to actually highlight the how data quality is very important in the current stage we have, and I want to mention the recent animated documentary I watched. I think it was a Korg heist, if I pronounce it right. It's in YouTube basically, but
Can I say it again?
it's very tough name. It's Korg heist. I think it's German, but maybe I'm. Let me.
Yeah, I will try to find and put the.
Can I post it in the chat?
Yes, you can write it here in the
Uh,
chat, but I will also later put it in the description of the episode
yeah.
if I can find it. You said this in
It's
the
it's
YouTube,
it's
huh?
one of the in a nutshell
Hmm.
channels. Let me put that
Okay.
in. So basically, recently they had a little.
Kurzgesagt. Sorry, now I know. Yeah,
Sorry, yeah,
yeah.
yeah. Well, that's my pronunciation. I don't.
Yeah, no worries.
But basically, what they literally had a little. Video documentation about AI, and it's how well it sounds grim how it will destroy internet, but it's actually they had a good point because AI itself it is not capable to distinguish between what is true and false in a nutshell as a fact. We are creating the facts that it takes, and it gets as a and it labels as true straight away. So, for example, uh, the team from this channel did the research. They used first of all the largest AI models to create the content just as an experiment about the planets. And then they did the huge fact checking process with the scientists and so on. And they said like 70 or something percent was incorrect or inaccurate. And okay, they shut down that workflow using AI to create the content because they were very excited, but they cannot because it's not true information. But surprise, surprise, someone did that and put that on the internet in YouTube, and got the millions of views and so on. And the fact that it is now on the internet, AI now classifies it as the true fact because it part of the internet information it uses. So that's the very um, how do you say, very difficult situation we can be very soon, because everything what people do, AI thinks that it is true in the future. And and if you now ask something about that specific planet, you might get some information from that false video they created because AI thinks that it's true. So that's why, according to the channel, internet will be dead soon.
But I mean, it's a very interesting point. I think we can talk about it hours.
Yes, we
But
can.
it reminds me like how, in general, the human knowledge has been transferred over the years. Like if you see what we know about like science, about any factual thing, at some point it has been created by a human and has been transferred. I'm not talking about the purely scientific thing, of course. Then science can also support and justify it. But like internet itself before AI was similar thing. Like if you wanted to know something, you had to search, and then you had a lot of articles, different opinions, different perspectives. And fact checking past was also difficult. So I understand what you say is kind of very tricky thing, but I feel like we never had a solution for it. Like even before, like
Like Wikipedia.
yeah, like I feel like it's a part of the way that we transfer our knowledge to the next generation, like history itself. You read some stuff at some point. Some people say some stuff, and then that's a fact. And I don't know, 20 years later, they come and say, "Hey, that was wrong. Now we do this." So, but yeah, what is the solution? Do you think? Like, how can we stop creating facts that are not facts? Is this the thing related to quality of the, like, we need to do the fact check and quality check of the data?
Yeah, I think so. The data quality plays a huge role now. So that's what in my field as well. The quality of the data is the key. Everything starts from data nowadays. So whatever you create, our design output becomes data as well. Our banners, our buttons, our patterns of cards and components, it becomes data now. Our videos we create and so on, animations. Whereas before it used to live just on its own, maybe never used. Now, if it's on internet, it will be used at some point by AI models. So we need to be very, very responsible what we output and what quality of it is. So while someone is saying that designer job is dead, I'm saying it's opposite. It's even more relevant.
Yeah, very good point. Like our role in every field that we are working are getting even more important, I would say.
Yeah. Yeah.
And to be honest, I feel like the AI world that we are building needs some regulation at the end. I mean, I don't want to say that. I mean, I like the freedom that exists, but based on the competition that exists, and as you mentioned, it's very important to get sure whatever you are going to get out of the system is reliable. I guess some sort of regulation, international regulation, might be needed in the future, like any other things that we are doing, like universities, the books that we are reading. At some point there are some fact checks and some regulation. But yeah, I'm looking forward for the future to see what's happening. I guess we don't have to wait so long. Maybe next year.
It will be fine. Maybe tomorrow.
Maybe tomorrow. Yeah, who knows? Usually at the end of the show, I ask one question: how was now next? It's more for myself.
It was first experience for me. So that's already plays a big part in my life already.
I'm very happy to hear it.
And it definitely I learned about myself, because then you talk loudly, you can hear yourself as well, and you as a host, you are very welcoming and very easy to talk to and answer to. So it's I couldn't recommend more, to, if it's the first time to record the session with you, because I was nervous. I wasn't sure what to expect, because I never done this. So I definitely didn't, I'm not the best public speaker as well, and
I expected worse, actually, Paulius.
Oh, really? Okay,
you're amazing. You're comfortable.
Yeah. Well, I'm trying to, I prompt to AI how to communicate in the session. So AI helped me.
Of course, I'm kidding. I mean, you're amazing. To be honest, this is stress that you're talking about, I assume everyone has. If anyone says that I do not have a stress when I'm talking in front of people, even if you're an experienced person, I would say it's kind of a lie. Maybe you get a little bit used to it, but you will always have it. Like for myself, before I mean, you joined the call, I was full of stress, of course. I tried to find some trick to reduce that stress. In the last episode, I said to Kathy, by the way, if you haven't watched that episode, I want to also promote that. I also had a very nice talk with Kathy. She is amazing person. We can watch those videos in the YouTube channel or in any other podcast platform that you like. But yeah, in that episode, I was talking. It was her first podcast as well, by the way. and she was saying the same thing. I explained that I'm trying to find some sort of ways to reduce my stress when I'm in spotlight. And Christo, I don't know if you know him or not, in the YouTube, I watched one of the video of him. He was saying that increasing the metabolism of your body might help to reduce the stress. Like some hormones are going to get to your body, such as, I don't know, adrenaline or something like that. So he was saying that it's good to have some push-ups, some sport activity before any session that is important for you. And from that day, I usually do some push-ups before
Nice.
like having a
I will
speech
do that
or
now.
talking. Yeah. I don't know if it's helping or not, like, to be honest, because I still have some stress afterward, but I feel like at least I'm more energetic. So yeah.
Yeah, I really enjoyed this session as well. It was amazing.
I'm very happy to hear it.
No,
It was a pleasure
goodbye.
to have you. One more thing I ask usually, I guess you know that, who else would you like to see now next?
Oh, good question.
I usually say you don't have to say it now. You can also send me the name later on. But if you have somebody from your network, or even not from your network, it can be anyone that you would
Uh,
like to hear the story about, him or her.
I do have someone. So how do I share that person? Is through LinkedIn or?
You can share in the LinkedIn. Also, if you
Yeah.
can say the name only, that for the people who are listening to us, they can also.
Well, the person is Marco Christian Kren.
Oh, I know him.
So, or maybe he was already at your show.
No, I had a short chat with him before.
Yeah, so he's I think he's a really interesting person as well. It's a lot I learned from him
Is he
working with
working now
him.
in a token studio?
Yes.
Yes.
So that's where I as well, like, I was collaborating with him a lot on day-to-day basis, and we were diving into the node programming optimization. So this is another topic as well.
Yeah, thank you for giving me the name. I also will reach out to him later and invite him. Hopefully, he's going to also accept my invitation. That would be nice talk indeed. And for the people who want to reach out to you, to follow you and your stories in the future, would you like to name a couple of your channels? How
Yeah,
they can find you?
I think the best way from my professional side is the LinkedIn. So just if someone types in my full name, yeah, they should find myself.
Yeah.
Uh,
Definitely, you
uh,
can find the links to LinkedIn of Paulius in the description of this episode, no matter where you're listening or watching. Then, thank you very much. Is there any last word?
uh, well, no, actually not. I really enjoyed the session, and I'm really glad that you invited me. I also would love to thank you to Mr. Biscuitville, who referenced as well, recommended me. And yeah, that's it. I think it is exciting to see what the future, what the near future will bring, and we may get together uh, at some point again and reflect on the changes.
Yeah, sure. Thank you, Paulius, for being here one more time. Thanks, everyone, for watching and listening to us. You can follow our channel, the YouTube channel, or in any podcast platform that you would like to listen to this podcast. You can find all the links that you need in the description of this episode indeed. Thanks again, Paulius. Thanks for watching and listening to us. See you in the next episode.